In this video, I'm going to show you how to save 10 plus hours in your cold email outreach by using a tool that allows you to automate all of your personalizations at scale incredibly easily. I wanted to give you kind of an example business that I'm going to use to show you how to use Clay, which is the tool that we use to automate all of our personalizations. We're an artist that creates abstract paintings for corporate office buildings. We're pretty much trying to sell our uber expensive modern art paintings to office buildings. I decided to target companies in New York City with 50 to 200 employees and have more than 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. Then I wanted to go ahead and title the head of HR, the HR manager, the chief design officer, the CEO, the founder, and the co-founder. I figured these would be the job titles most likely to answer an email from a young starving artist. And then I wanted to make a quick copy with a few different personalizations in it. Hey, first name, notice that company name is located in location. Guessing you've got a good bit of empty wall space there. I create custom paintings for industry companies that can encapsulate company names, mission of mission. Here's an example of the kind of art I could paint, custom painting mock-up, and any chance you've been open to a quick call, Patrick Picasso. Everything in these brackets is what we call a personalization, which means for every contact that we're reaching out to, it's going to have a different output in between those brackets. So for example, notice that Walmart is located in Benton, Arkansas. I create custom paintings for shipping companies. I'm going to now go into Clay and show you how I built out this table and how you can use it for yourself when you are creating campaigns for your own company. All right, so you can see I'm in my art for corporate drones table here. So you can see I've imported about 1,300 companies that fit the description of the companies that I'm looking for. The way I was able to do this was actually just to go home, click new table, go to find companies from LinkedIn. You can actually put all of this information from here into this company finder. We're looking for companies in New York. We want them to have 50 to 200 employees. And if we go and preview just a random example here, you can see we have 700 companies that we can then import into our table. So that's what I did with this table here. And you can see off the bat, we have a ton of different data points regarding each one of these companies that is automatically imported into our table without having to do any work. We have the company name, of course, the description, pretty much saying what they do, the industry that they're in, the size, whether they're privately or publicly held, where they're located, of course, in this case, it's always going to be New York. Most importantly, their company domain and their LinkedIn URL. How do we go from this data to creating personalizations, especially the ones that I put in our copy right here? What we're going to have to do first is find more information on the company. The first thing that we're filtering for is whether they have more than 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. In order to find that, we have this thing called an enrichment. And enrichment is pretty much a way to find data on a company or to personalize outbound on a company using a bunch of different random data sources. You can see here we can find things like work emails, we can find things like employee count, competitors. You can pretty much find any data point that's publicly available online about a company using Clay. In this case, we're using what is called the enriched company integration on LinkedIn, which after throwing in your LinkedIn URL, which we of course already have right here, can go ahead and find a ton of custom data on a company. So if we click on our output here, there are a ton of different pieces of information that we could be looking for, whether it's their description, their logo URL, the company ID, their specialties. In this case, what we want to look for is their follower count. You can see it right here. And if you click add as a column, we now have the follower count of every single one of these companies. I was looking for companies that have more than 5,000 followers on LinkedIn, which seems to be quite a few of these companies, but how do we actually check to see whether they do or not? Well, in that case, you're going to click add column and you're going to click on checkbox. And from there, you're going to be able to create a formula that auto detects whether they have more than 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. So if you look at the one I created right here, if the follower count is more than 5,000, then check the box. It creates this custom formula down here. And once we click run, it automatically checks whether these companies have 5,000 followers or not. So we just got to click filter, go to our little follower count check right here and make sure it's checked. So now you can see we've narrowed down to only 267 companies that we want to reach out to. Next is time to build out some of these personalizations. The first one I'm going to do is normalize the location where it seems like we actually wrote it as opposed to a robot that's printing out New York, NY. And in this case, it was really easy. All I had to do was create a formula that said, if this location contains NY or New York, then print NYC. So next we have to find out what industry these companies are in. That's incredibly easy to do using an OpenAI integration within Clay. This integration pretty much allows you to use OpenAI, but at scale. So you can use it for each one of these rows one at a time without having to do any manual work. In this case, all I had to do was click enrich data and then type in OpenAI and click use AI. From there, I just have to put in the prompt, which in this case is very simple. Based on the company description I provide, tell me what industry the company resides in. Be very specific and limit output to less than 4 words. And after that, I just fed our company description column right into the prompt, which of course can be found right here. And it pops out in 3 words or less, the industry in which this company lies. I'm putting this in an email copy, right? So it'd be really weird for this to be capitalized. So why don't I just use another formula to make this entire thing lowercase? So I went to another formula. I just said, make this industry completely lowercase and remove the word industry if it's present. So now we fulfilled the company name, the location, and the industry. So next we have to find the mission of the company. In this case, it's essentially just what the company does well. So we're using actually another OpenAI integration for this. And what we're going to be doing is just saying, using this company description, tell me one thing that the company name likely does well for their customers. Format your answer as an action. For example, if the company is good at building sandcastles, say building sandcastles pixels, keep the output under 4 words, and I fed them the company description once again. Now that we've got the value popped out for our campaign, the next thing we want to do is actually create this custom image for each one of the companies. I decided to make a Picasso-like image related to the value prop of the company, and we can just do this using our OpenAI generate image integration. And all I had to do was feed into the column a group of people all harmoniously working together to analyze digital workforce dynamics, measuring social impact in the style of Pablo Picasso. And you can see it created some pretty unique results here. It's a pretty cool way to create a bunch of these custom images all at once very, very easily. All right, so finally we can add these to our email campaign. All right, so we're in Smart Lead here, and you can see that I've created this campaign, and I pasted the copy, and I have altered the image code so we're able to put a custom image into our copy right here. Next, all I have to do is go to Clay and go to add lead to campaign. And if I go ahead and select an API key and look for a campaign, all you have to do now is connect it to your email campaign using Smart Lead or Instantly, which of course can be done in our add lead to campaign field. All you have to do is click on the campaign that you're looking for after adding your API key, and then map out each one of these variables, of course, in the first name, last name, website, company name areas. And then for our images, we're going to just be adding them in this little section. And voila, you have got yourself a fully automated campaign to be sending out to these companies to hopefully get ourselves some painted clients. If you are looking to try out Clay, feel free to click the link in the description. And of course, try out Instantly and Smart Lead as well. They are the 2 best email tools in the market. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and happy prospecting.